Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com, and in today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make the granule stitch. The granule stitch is a good preparation in understanding how baubles are constructed, and the granule stitch has a knobby texture to it that's made using the picot stitch. Now the picot stitch is a stitch that I showed you how to make a little while ago, so I will go ahead and link it below as well as in the corner right up here if you're interested in learning how to make that picot stitch. And for the granule stitch, you're actually working an additional few chains into the picots as part of a single crochet. And the single crochet rows in between help anchor the chain as well as create the tiny bobble effect. So if I turn my work a little bit, you can see the little knobby stitches or the little bobble stitches right here. And again, this is just a great beginner stitch to learn if you just want to make a little tiny bobble stitch and not the full gigantic bobble stitches that you see. But this is just a tiny little bobble stitch if you want just a little bit of texture to your work. So let's move on to learning how to make the granule stitch. So for today's tutorial, you're going to need some worsted weight yarn. I'm just going to be using some Hobby Lobby I Love This yarn to practice. And then you're also going to need a size I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. So to make the granule stitch, you're going to need to make a chain that is a multiple of 4 plus 2. So that means you're going to multiply any number by 4, and then you're going to add 2 more chains to the very end. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to be making a chain of 18. So to make a chain, you're going to do yarn over your hook and pull through that loop on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So once you have your 18 chains or your multiple of 4 plus 2, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the second chain from your hook. So to make a single crochet, the loop on your hook does not count. You're going to count 2 chains from your hook, so 1 and 2, and in that second chain you're going to make a single crochet. So to make a single crochet, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and that is your single crochet. So again, in that very next chain, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. So you're just going to make a single crochet in each of the chains across, and once you reach the end, I will move on to row 2 and show you how to continue the granule stitch. Okay, so here is my first row of all single crochets. So to move on to row 2, you're going to simply chain 1 and turn your work. And next you're going to be making 1 single crochet into the very first stitch. So you're going to skip that chain 1 that you just made, and you're going to go right into that stitch, which is the single crochet from the previous row. Make sure you grab both of those loops. So if you turn your work a little bit, you'll see both loops, and you're just going to make your single crochet in that very first stitch. Then next you're going to make the picot stitch. Okay, so next you're going to insert your hook into that next stitch and pull up a loop. And to finish the picot single crochet, you're going to yarn over and just pull through that first loop on your hook 3 times. So 1, yarn over, pull through that first loop on your hook. That's twice. Yarn over, pull through that first loop on your hook. That's 3 times. And then to finish, you're going to yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. just like that. Now what you want to do is you want to make a single crochet into the next stitch. So you want to go right in front and find where that single crochet is, and you're going to make a single crochet into that next stitch. So we're actually working on the wrong side, and if you flip your work over, you will see that that stitch that we just made, that picot single crochet, is going to be on the opposite side. So all of the work that you're doing is going to be on one side of your work. So you're just going to repeat this back and forth until the next, until your final stitch. So you're going to repeat the picot single crochet and then the single crochet. So I will show you that stitch one more time. So you're going to insert your hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first loop on your hook. So you essentially have a chain 3, and then you're going to do yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. Next, you're going to find that next single crochet and make a single crochet into that next stitch. So again, you're going to repeat that over until the end of your row, and you should end with a single crochet in the very last stitch. And you're actually going to skip that turning chain. So just repeat this across, and I will show you how to finish the row and move on to row 3. Okay, so I'm coming up at the end of my row and I have 2 stitches left. So the next stitch is going to be that granule stitch, which is that picot stitch. So 1, 2, and 3, and pull through both loops, and in that final stitch you're going to make a single crochet. Okay, and that completes row 2. So for row 3, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And you're going to make a single crochet into the first stitch as well as each stitch across. So you're going to go right in that first stitch. Now when you get to your next stitch, you're going to turn your work and you're going to see your stitch right here. So you're not going to see it from the very beginning or the very front when you look, because you're going to see that little knobby stitch right here. So you actually have to turn your work and you will see your stitch right behind here. And you want to make sure you go in those 2 loops right there and make your single crochet. So again, you're going to turn your work and you're going to find those 2 loops behind the stitch and you're going to work a single crochet. And remember, you're always going to have your work on one side of your project. So all your work is going to be facing this side of the project. Okay, and that is what 3 rows of your project is going to look like. So to move on to row 4, you're going to single crochet. You're going to make a chain 1 and you're going to turn. And for row 4, you're going to make a single crochet into the first 2 stitches. So in the first 2 stitches, you're going to make 1 single crochet. And in the next stitch, you're going to make that picot single crochet. So to make that picot single crochet, once again, you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through that first loop, yarn over, pull through that first loop, yarn over, pull through that first loop. So you essentially have a chain 3, and then you're going to do yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. Then next you're going to make a single crochet into that next stitch. And then you're just going to repeat this until you get to the last stitch of your row. And that last stitch of your row is going to be a single crochet. So again, you're going to make that picot single crochet. And then the next stitch, a single crochet. So you're just going to repeat this all the way across until you get to the end, and you're going to make a single crochet in that very last stitch. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of my row and I have 2 stitches left, and in the final 2 stitches you're going to make a single crochet. And then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And again, all of those little knobby stitches are going to be on the front side of your work. And these stitches are actually going to offset a little bit. So as you can see right here, you have 1 stitch here, 1 stitch here, and then you have this one right in the middle. So for row 5, you're just going to make a single crochet into the very first stitch, as well as each of the stitches across, just like that row 3 row that we made. So again, when you come to that picot single crochet, you're going to turn your work, you're going to find that little V stitch right behind, and you're going to work a single crochet into that stitch. So just take your time with this and make sure that all your little picot single crochets are on the same side of your project. And then in between each of those picot single crochet rows, you're just going to be making a single crochet row, just like I'm showing you here. Okay, so that is what 5 rows of your project is going to look like. So to continue making the granule stitch, all you're going to do is repeat rows 2 through 5 over and over again until you reach your desired length, as well as just to practice. And as always, with new stitches that you don't know about, you're going to the granule stitch is going to require some practice at first, but the more that you practice, the easier it will become. And this is just a fun little stitch that you can use to create some fun texture in your next crochet project. You can make this for a scarf or cowl. And as always, I always mention blankets because I love making blankets, but you can use this for just about anything that you would like. I'm sure it would even be nice for a dishcloth when you want to use this to kind of like get to scrub your dishes and whatnot. So the possibilities are really up to you on what you would like to make this granule stitch for. So thank you so much for joining me today on learning how to make that granule stitch. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, happy crocheting!